episode 665 of Good Luck High Five.
You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria, and it boggles my mind that you are listening because you're such a high quality person. Wait, what am I saying about our listeners?
Wait, you said that they're high quality, which makes you surprised.
Yeah, which I think is a statement about us. It's a statement about us and not about them.
Yeah, that's true.
You're giving them a compliment, but the surprise part is then really a dig on us.
Yeah,
that's how I would take it.
Regardless, I'm Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan, and I'm gonna treasure cruise right on through this episode.
And I am a third person, and my name is Tyler. And so imagine that you're sitting down to a nice steak, and a lot of people want it to be pretty buttery, pretty smooth. Might have just like some nice marbling, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but other people
totally.
They really like their steak tough, and they want sometimes to be biting into it. Like in a way that they're not sure what they're gonna get, and they start chewing, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, this is tough. And for those people, I highly recommend this one type of this one company of steak makers, and that company is Gristle Brand.
I was like, where is this going?
What a journey.
Tyler took us on a real trip there.
Incredible journey that we just went on there.
I told everyone to come prepared for this episode with a pun, and wow, Tyler, you did not disappoint. Thank you.
You really put us to
Thank
shame,
you.
honestly.
Yeah, we've got to up our game for next week, for real.
Or I have to bring mine down.
Yeah, either way. Why don't we do both and meet in the middle?
Yeah, they're great.
Please.
Everyone who is watching this podcast as opposed to listening with your ears or out of your cat's mouth, you're going to notice that we have taken away the desk here at Good Luck High Five and replaced it with a flimsy/dangerous IKEA couch and a chair.
But a flimsy, dangerous, and aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, it is cute.
Do you know what? It is cute.
Yeah.
It's cute, and it may hurt us.
Yeah, well, but it hasn't yet.
Not yet. Time will tell.
No.
Because, we want to do a little set upgrade, and we're kind of still in the middle of it. This is still kind of a test round. We're feeling it out, kind of to, just see like how we feel about being a little bit more chill on the Good Luck High Five set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying being
conversational.
chill here.
Yeah.
Megan's in what we've dubbed the daddy chair.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Do
you feel the daddy energy right now?
Do you know what? I don't know. Like, okay, here's my theory.
Yeah, please.
Go.
I'm so daddy, it doesn't even register to me that this is daddy chair.
I like that. I like that.
I'm like, yo, this is just chair.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about, daddy energy?
I'm just experiencing chair right now.
This is just actual life for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people, because I would guess that chair is maybe like 30% daddy. You know what I mean? Like it gives you a 30% daddy boost.
But I'm at 100%.
Exactly,
so
but I'm saying like
get the boost?
But percentage wise, most people might be going from 0 to 30 or like from 10 to 40, something like that.
Yeah.
But you're going from like 80 to like 110 or something.
It's a great
like
point.
That.
Yeah. So I'm not really experiencing a lot of change.
Yeah, that's right.
In the daddy chair.
Listeners, viewers, let us know what you think of our new setup. We're gonna give it the old testorino and see how it goes. But so far, I feel more chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm feeling more relaxed.
It does feel relaxed, and I like that.
We're going to also have a kind of a chill episode this week because there's been a few news updates in the world of Magic, and we're just going to go through those with you and talk about like our opinions. How are we feeling about these changes and things?
How are we feeling?
That are coming down the road at us, and just, hang back, chat with you about such things. But before we commence the chatting, it's time to commence the thanking.
Yes. Before we chat, we shall
thank.
Yeah.
So let's thank the patrons of the show who support us over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Thank you so much to everyone who is a patron. You make this show possible. You helped make this dangerous IKEA couch
It's true.
possible.
You did this.
You have endangered our lives by proxy. And that is something that only patrons can say.
Absolutely.
That's true. Yeah.
Not you're just a normal listener. They can't say I put their lives in danger in a tangible way.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. So
it's definitely
Yes.
it's definitely notable.
Yes, it is notable.
Some people might not like to be in that position, but their lives will be a little energized by it. You know what I mean? If you get up in the morning, you're just like, like the lives aren't at stake today for me,
Yeah.
but today they are because you've
That kind of power, man. It gets you out of bed in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
We also have a new patron to thank.
Yay!
Thank you so much to a new patron, Wesley.
Wesley! Thank you, Wesley.
Wesley,
I'd go west to see ya.
Wesley, I wouldn't want to Wesley you around about being a patron. I'd just let you do it.
Yeah.
What?
Wrestle.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it feels. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to like counteract the Gristlebrand pun with this one. You know what I mean?
And I'll just say, hey, Wesley, as you wish.
Ooh.
You and I know what that means, Wesley.
And no one else.
And no one else gets the
Nobody
reference.
else. Hey, I could have said, shut up, Wesley, which would have been a nice Star Trek pun.
That's true.
But we went for the nicer version with
Yeah.
Princess Bride there. Thank you so much, Wesley.
Wesley, you're not crushing our hearts because you became a patron.
Yeah, nice.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Now we're
Excellent.
talking.
Thank you, Wesley. You can be like Wesley and get a pun if you sign up at patreon.com/GLHF Magic for $5 a month or more, or increase your pledge by any dollar amount. The first thing we're going to chat about on the show today is the Commander brackets update and various other Commander changes that are coming at us hot and fast. So these changes were made by the Commander format panel. They had a little summit in Seattle. Maybe you've seen the pics floating around of this group of fine, lovely humans having a fun time. And it's not going to be too, like huge of an update. I mean, you could argue the brackets change. The last thing they did was a fairly massive update.
Yeah.
This one is more of a tinkering. They went back in. They said, you know what? We did a big update. We're going to come back now and kind of see how we feel about that and see what kind of like smaller changes and tweaks we can make to the format, judge how people like those, and then move on from there.
Yeah.
So we've now have kind of an adjustment to the way that the brackets are structured overall. And they said people were having a little bit of trouble kind of understanding where their deck might fit into these various brackets when they were trying to find a game somewhere. So they wanted to be a little bit clearer about what the heck they meant when they were like, is this exhibition, core, upgraded, optimized, or CEDH? Which, to be fair, CEDH, I think, explains itself, but maybe that's just me.
I mean, on some level, I think that's true, but also I feel like
CEDH is its own thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tyler.
No, I was. That's pretty much what I was going to say in the sense that like if you might not know what it is, but if you don't know what it is, your deck isn't that.
If you don't know what it is, you're not playing
Exactly.
That's a great way to think about it. Rachel Weeks, who's part of the Commander format panel, tweeted out a little graphic if you're interested in getting a more granular explanation of what 1 through 5 decks are. And it kind of goes on a sliding scale from theme to metagame. So in exhibition, your deck is just like, you're having a fun time, right? You're playing horses. You're playing guys with hats. You're playing mad women. I don't know, whatever you want as your theme of your Commander deck.
Okay.
You
I'm
don't-
in for all of these.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
I was like, Megan, I
My
feel
two
like
favorite genres, men in hats and, mad women.
I love
and they
that
do kind
90s
of go
sitcom.
together, I feel like, as well. You know what I mean? Like, if you find one, you're often going to find the other, like, I think.
Like, if I see a guy in a fedora, I am furious.
Well, I'm saying, or if you're not, there's going to be some other women around them who are.
Yeah, if you don't
probably.
see them, someone else does so
Exactly.
and is mad about it.
Yeah.
this deck, this archetype, no game changers. You're not playing mass land denial. You're not running extra turns, Megan.
I don't know what we're talking
Something was in
about.
my throat. You're not playing any 2-card combos. And they also clarified what they meant by like a combo. No game enders, no lockouts, no infinites.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. 2. Now, 2 is where they put previously, they said this was the Commander precon decks lived in 2.
Or they were of
Yeah.
the same power level.
Of the
as
same
precons,
ilk,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
The same ilk.
Great word, ilk. Doesn't
The
get used
same
enough.
milk.
The same milk, if you will.
They're all of the same milk.
Yeah.
2% fortified with vitamin D. But they were like, that's actually not totally true because some of the commander precons are more powerful than others.
Yeah,
It's
there's
true.
a wide variety of.
So,
yeah,
they're
so, like the MH3 commander precons were of
Exactly.
a different power level than
Yes.
An
And
ilk,
like a
would
starter
you say?
precon.
Maybe?
Would you say
Yeah,
they
but
were of a
different
different milk?
They were of
Different
different. Yeah, there was like they were more chocolate or there was
I was
something.
they were like full. They were whole milk.
They're whole milk.
Those were whole milk
cream
for
top.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay. that's my Tinder bio.
Hey,
I'm sorry. It's the couch. It's the fact that I'm on the couch.
I don't think it is.
Pushing me over
I'll
the
be
edge.
honest with you, that was the exact thing I would have expected you to say on the couch or off the couch.
No matter what. Let's be honest, you were gonna say that. You were
That's gonna
always-
happen no matter
you were
what.
always gonna say it.
Blame the coach.
Yeah.
That's a new hashtag for this episode. So now 2 is more like, okay, we're gonna call it core decks that are mechanically focused, but you can still have some silly nonsense cards in there.
Yeah.
So you're trying to win, but you can still have some stuff that just makes you happy on an emotional level and isn't really going to help you win the game. Your win conditions are going to be slow, telegraphed. They're going to be easy to disrupt.
Easy to spot.
Yeah.
You know, coming at you.
Yeah.
Low press, proactive. Consider it. Every deck is kind of getting to do its thing at 2.
Yeah.
And this is something new that they added here too, is basically how many turns, God, hashtag
How
blame
much
the
milk
couch.
are you gonna drink
How much
before the
milk?
game ends?
Yeah, how many? If you have like 5 glasses of milk in front of you, how many of those glasses are you going to get through
Are
before
you
the
gonna
game
get
ends?
before you
Yeah,
lose?
yeah.
Great question. This one you have to drink at least 8 glasses of milk before anyone wins or loses. That's
Disturbing.
God.
First-
That's gonna be
Really
rough. It's a rough night.
The first 2 brackets are definitely going to give you.
You're sitting at the table. You're like, kill me,
Yeah.
please. That's my turn. I
I can't drink this last
can't
milk.
drink anymore
And
milk.
they're like, well, this game isn't ending then.
Do you know what? I could drink so many glasses of skim milk. It's probably a crime.
Wow, really? I honestly don't. I hardly drink any milk anymore because I'm not hardcore. To use that term probably inappropriately, lactose intolerant, but I am somewhat lactose intolerant, I think. And
As
so,
we age, I
yeah,
think.
I like you calling out yourself for using the phrase hardcore potentially incorrectly.
yeah. At the moment, I just knew that I knew that I was
Yeah,
doing
you
something that I
felt it.
shouldn't have been.
yeah, man, yeah.
But so I don't think I know the last time a full glass of milk has been drunk and or drank or whatever the past tense of drink is.
This will make you furious. The fact that I drank a lot of milk, skim milk with ice in it.
Whoa.
I iced my skim milk.
I was gonna say you're just skimming it more, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like this
You
milk
are
be extra skim.
I forgot to say the exhibition was 9 turns, 9 glasses of milk before anyone wins or loses. Core 8.
Keeping the dairy industry alive and well.
Yeah, true.
And themselves less alive and less well.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Certainly less well. Maybe the same amount of alive. I mean, it just depends on what
Same
you define
amount
as
of alive,
living, I guess. But
less well.
3 upgraded. The difference is staples. We're moving into staples here. You need to drink at least 6 glasses of milk before anyone wins or loses. And in this bracket, decks get to be powered up. They have synergy, high card quality. They can effectively disrupt their opponents. Win conditions can be played from hand in 1 turn because of accrued resources. More proactive, more reactive plays. You get to run game changers finally.
hey, nice.
0 to 3 game changer cards. You still can't do any mass land denial. No chaining extra turns.
But you
Megan,
can take an extra turn.
That's true.
that
you
is
just
a
can't
good
chain
point.
them. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well said.
And no 2-card combos before turn 6. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Then on to optimized, where we begin to see that speed is more of the thing we're aiming for here because games are going to be fairly fast. You want to play at least 4 turns before anyone wins or loses. Sorry, 4 glasses of milk.
Yeah, that's a.
Come on.
I
Four
mean,
bags
I
of
was
popcorn.
about to be like, that's a reasonable amount of milk, but it's not. I want to be super
4
clear that
is
we're
also too much.
we're
Yeah.
still at too much
Yeah.
milk.
But you
developed the milk
But if you
system.
start at 8, you feel so good at 4.
Oh,
you're
4,
like,
you're feeling fine,
you
just
built
Like
up
fine.
I
quite
really
a
did just adapt
Yeah,
my
you
brain
did.
very quickly to being like, we're starting with baseline is 9 glasses.
So
Megan-
4 feels like a gift from the
I only
heavens.
have to drink 4. Thank you.
you, sir.
Do you remember when we recorded a box opening where we were doing shots shots of eggnog.
Maria,
Oh, yes.
unfortunately, I do.
I'm telling you.
I also was a listener
Wow,
of this.
I had
and,
really
You
tried
watched
to.
that video?
Yeah.
This the one? No, okay. This is not the one we shot in an igloo. We did shoot a box opening in an igloo.
No,
Everybody,
that
if you
was
want to find
just
that.
in an igloo.
Yeah. We took shots of eggnog, and let me tell you, I've never been sicker after a video than
That really checks out.
It
been
was
doing that.
really pretty rough.
pretty rough. So 4 glass of eggnog here for optimized.
Worse.
Decks are designed to be lethal,
worse.
consistent, fast. But they do not adhere to the CEDH metagame, which, as previously stated, you will know if you're in it.
If you cross
You
that.
ask.
Am I
You
playing
ain't in it.
CEDH? You gotta ask.
You
The
have
answer
it,
is
yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's right.
Games can end suddenly and quickly, explosive, powerful threats, etc. And then finally, CEDH, the difference being metagame here. Their lists, they're tuned. People know what they're doing. Games can even end on turn 1. Any
Yeah,
turn.
that's AKA 0 to 1 glasses of milk. So
so that's where
Very
you want to
doable.
be if
Yeah,
you
very
are like
doable.
Tyler.
yeah, yeah.
Hardcore.
And I'll be honest, if you
lactose
are,
tolerant.
and even if you aren't like me, I think for the most part, you don't want to be in that 9 milk bracket. You know, like
Oh, definitely
Nine,
not.
I mean, like calling it the 9 milk bracket does make it clear
Yeah,
that I don't really
wanna be
see
there.
myself there.
yeah.
I just don't. They're also reevaluating their game changing list, the list of game changers. And they wanted to take some cards off of the game changers list because they said, hey, these cost a lot of mana and we want people to like have the, reap their
powerful
rewards.
moments. And, if you spend that much mana in a commander game, it should be something kind of crazy and powerful.
So we're taking off cards like Expropriate, Jin-Gitaxias, Sway of the Stars, and Vorinclex. Welcome back. You're no longer a game changer. You're just a game changer, but you're not a game changer. You know what I mean?
I don't actually. No,
I think
you
that could have been
said
the
that
most
as
confusing way that you could have communicated that to our listeners.
You're welcome, listeners. They're still very powerful, and they're going to change the game probably, but they're not, quote, a game changer, if you
I
will.
understand. Yeah.
Okay. They're also removing legends that are very strong, so strong commanders. Kinian.
Can I preface
sorry.
well, I just want to say that are strongest when they're in the command zone. So
Yes, thank you.
Essentially, these cards not so insane in the 99, but if they are in your command zone and you always have access to them, then they are stronger. And I think their thought process on that was basically that you're going to know that person's playing that commander before you sit down at the table with them. And so that is a conversation that can happen easily before the game starts, is I think their thought process.
Yeah,
there.
thank you. Yeah, Insane in the 99, by the way, is a song by Limp Bizkit. I just want to point that
I was
out.
gonna, absolutely.
thank
There's a song
you.
called "Insane in the
Thank you,
99."
yeah.
Not really sure what it means, but
Well, like everything with
Don't
Limp
wanna think
Bizkit,
about it too
probably
hard.
better off not knowing.
Kinian, Bonder Prodigy, Urza, Lord High Artificer, Winota, Joiner of Forces, and Yuriko the Tiger's Shadow. And they also took off Deflecting SWAT and Food Chain. So welcome back there. But there's a bunch of cards that still stayed, even though they might fit the description of what they were talking about. For example, Consecrated Sphinx. I mean, that card, you know,
Nice.
you're
Very
gonna
good.
you're
Cool.
gonna win
Very
if
good.
that sticks around.
Yep.
Yeah.
As well as cards like Coalition Victory, which is like that super cool Wooburg spell that's basically like if you have your commander and play and cast this, you win the game.
Yeah, exactly. Which,
So-
that's the definition of game changing. It's the game is so changed that
That
it's
it's
not happening
over.
anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can look through the whole list of game changers and all that kind of stuff on dailymtg.com where they posted it. They also said they're thinking about a lot of stuff from this.
Some of them commander
Aren't
based,
we
commander
all,
rated,
baby?
some of them not,
We
Thinking a
all
lot of stuff.
It's a long article because it
We're all
lists
thinking
everything that
about
those
a
people
lot
were
of
thinking about. Yeah. And it was a lot.
Hey.
Oh my God.
I was just kind of thinking about, like, why are some tomatoes great and others bad?
Whoa, tomato shade.
Ooh, I was watching a movie that had
They
some
are.
tomato based plot line in it, and I won't get into that right now. But maybe we can talk about that in the
What
producer
movie
segment,
are
maybe.
you? I'm just curious
yeah,
now.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you later. I'm
producers, you're
pretty
gonna get
sure
to
you
find out
may.
what
I'm
tomato-
guessing neither of you have seen this because it's not the most popular movie in the world, but I have found it to be very good. So
All right, I've got I'm trying to think of a movie that could possibly be tomato based. Do I know this movie?
maybe probably not. I will
Is it like a
from the
sauce?
title, you're not going to know that there's. I'm not saying I wouldn't call the movie tomato based. I would just say that there's a tomato related plot line in it that is very important to the movie. That's all I would say.
I'm just trying to think of anything that could possibly fit that description, and I'll say it once we get to producer segment. But it's going to be wrong for sure.
Yeah,
but
well, either way, I appreciate the effort.
one of the
Tomato
things
based.
they're thinking about is stuff for the future of Commander. What other cards do we want to think about possibly banning from the game? And one of them that they've brought up is Ristic Study. Do you pay the one? How do you both feel about this, Megan?
Banning it? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm okay.
Megan, you're the only one of us who's played this in a Commander Arcade episode.
And I felt
That's
terrible
true.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't my copy. I want to be clear.
Yeah,
that
that's
also,
true.
what's hilarious
yeah.
is that I was playing a deck, my Tasha deck, which is all about other people playing other people's
stealing
spells.
other people's things. Yeah.
And I ended up accidentally casting Aaron's
it's kind of true.
Beautiful.
Ristic Study. And
I will say the casting wasn't accidental.
it was
revealed.
because it was.
But I'm saying I don't think you were. You probably could have chosen not to cast it. I'm saying
Wow,
that part.
Tyler.
There was a choice.
Wow,
I'm just
all
saying there's
right,
always a
Tyler's
choice. There's always a choice.
Calling me out
but
for
you were
having a
But you were present.
But
It
it's
was
not like I
it
was given
given you on
multiple options.
No,
I was
you're right.
given the single
It was either
option.
it was either
Yeah.
do something that makes no sense for you as the person trying to win the game, or cast Ristic Study. I agree
And
with
so
you
I
on
did. You're right. Okay, you're. Thank you, Tyler, for reminding us. We always have a choice.
There's always a choice. Yeah.
There's always a choice.
Yeah.
I just felt bad the whole time. I
Yeah.
felt bad the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
it was brutal.
It just feels bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's a beloved card
Yeah.
for some people. I just do not
Everything
think
about it feel
it
bad.
does not
Yeah.
need to be in the
I
game.
don't want to
agree.
remind people.
Yeah.
And I don't want other people reminding me, frankly, either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of my brain
Apparently,
space.
it's a total card that CDH has warped around as well.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
that
Like,
sucks.
yeah.
I think if you have
Yeah.
to worry constantly about that in your metagame.
I would agree with that for sure. And that's none of that's even to mention what it's like to edit a game where it's involved. Because it's honestly a nightmare.
Commander shows.
why you bring that up,
That
Tyler.
I mean, I can almost guarantee
Interesting.
that the editors of Commander shows would all be on board for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other card they're talking about banning is none other than Thassa's Oracle. The little one that lets you win if you have no cards in your library.
little one
It's
that
not
lets you win.
No, it's not if you have no cards in your library.
Yeah, it's true.
It's when it enters, you look at the top, however many cards, where however many is
your devotion to
Is
blue.
your devotion to blue. however
You know.
is how they say it on the
Yeah,
card.
however
look
many.
at the top,
Yeah.
however many cards, where however many is your devotion to blue.
Love that.
And if it's more than it's in your library, then
That's true.
then you win.
But it obviously
I
makes
just
it
phrased
easier.
that so poorly,
Yeah.
but it was at least
It does make it easier
yes.
if there's no cards in your library. But
One would
technically, you
say.
don't need to have
Yeah.
no cards in your library.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a win con, instant win con with like demonic consultation or tainted pact.
Yep.
Yes.
So I say, if that's the case, get it out.
I mean, it still is. I guess I do think that it is quite big in CEDH.
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense because it's one of those cards that
Yeah.
just wins
So,
you. It wins you the game, and it's just 2 mana, and I think that's the thing that makes it so unique. Is
2
that
mana.
It's,
That's
obviously
not-
you got to get your
not
you
much
got to
mana.
get your library down to a small amount, close to 0, if not 0. But it only
Yeah.
costs 2 mana.
Yeah, very, very cheap
Yeah.
way to possibly win the game there. The other thing they're thinking about is hybrid mana and whether they should free it. Meaning, for example, a card like Kitchen Finks, which you can cast for mono white or mono green if you so choose because of the hybrid mana, allowing that card to be in a mono white or mono green deck,
Yeah.
which was previously has not been allowed. And they're considering changing that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I suppose so. Just saying, like in general, if the hybrid mana, if one of the colors matches your commander's color identity, you can play it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, I think I am too. Is it true? I think I remember reading that it's if you have a legendary card that's hybrid, though, that card will still be a card that will allow you to play either. Like if you had a Selesnya hybrid commander card,
Yes,
I think that would still allow you to play white and green. So it
Yes,
wouldn't be that you would have to
exactly.
choose one of those colors if they
no.
were your commander.
It's
Yeah.
saying
Yes.
that the cards in your deck previously the hybrid had to be
Right.
like it had to be both sides were represented in your commanders.
That part I get. I just was clarifying that it's
yeah.
not, it's not saying that it's going to like expand the options and in no way restrict the amount of options that exist now.
Yeah, Mark Rosewater has said that he designed the hybrid mana to act, in both ways that were consistent with color identity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So doing this change would make him happy because he's like, well, it should function very fine in the color pie either way.
I was going to say, Ray, it's specifically not a gold card.
Yeah.
Right.
Like hybrid
Yeah,
mana
exactly.
is
It's a different
not,
thing.
If Kitchen Finks was truly green-white, it would be one green-white instead of having the option to be either double green or double white or one green-white.
Yeah.
So I do think that I'm for doing this.
Yeah.
Because it does align with the way that Magic is built as a game.
Yeah.
I agree.
100%
It
agree
makes
as well.
sense to me.
If there is a difference, if there's a distinction between gold cards and hybrid cards, then there should also be that distinction in Commander and the ways that you're allowed to play them.
Yeah.
So this, notably, we should call out a card like Deathrite Shaman, for example, which is an activated ability there's a black one and a green one.
Yeah.
That one you could not just throw into a green deck because there's a black ability. Yeah.
Because
On the
it
card.
does have on the card somewhere a
Non-hybrid
single
black
black
and a not
mana.
hybrid
Correct.
green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So the final question that they're debating about is, do they need to add a sixth bracket into their commander brackets? And the question they have is there a space that needs to be between 2 and 3 or a space that needs to be between 3 and 4 for a deck that's very optimized, yet perhaps still doesn't run any game changers or stuff that, is messing up the game? But Megan, let me ask you this question.
No, period.
I want you to think back to a game that we played with the Spike Feeders with one Aaron who played that insanely tuned mono white deck, which was just like blasting us into space. It was so good.
Especially against his showmate who was playing bears.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
And he
absolutely.
had that card that wouldn't let.
What do you think Aaron thought that deck was?
Well, I mean, technically it fits in. You could call it a core. You could.
No, why?
I feel like even
Why
with
could
these,
you
I
call
think
it-
you would have
There's
to call it an upgraded.
there's no game changers in it. There's nothing of
But
on the restriction list.
Notably, bracket 3 does allow for 0 to 3 game changers.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it is
That's
like
true.
I feel like bracket 3 already acknowledges that there are very powerful decks that still don't technically use a game changer.
Yeah,
I would say
agree.
that deck was a 3.
I would agree with that too, for sure.
I'm putting it at 3.5.
I agree actually that it was a 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I'm saying. I'm advocating for the 0.5.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But why? Okay. But I would say that we, in that case, already have a system for talking about that deck, and it is calling it a 3.5.
Sure.
And it just doesn't fit into one of the categories.
I think that it fits distinctly between those two categories. And why
don't
make
add a
it
4.
Exactly. Why make it more granular?
Yeah.
If the system that you have can already be used to describe the majority of things that fit within that system.
I don't know. Maybe if you're playing at a command fest or whatever, and you're going around with your 3.5, and they're like, "What is this?" and you're like 3.5, but there's no 3.5 table. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, that question probably is. I'd be curious to hear people who like really play Commander a lot in different groups, especially they don't have one established group. Like I'd just be curious to hear what they think about that because I think I remember someone saying something along the lines of a lot of decks end up in 3. Like 3 is just like a kind of a crowded category right now for people, and I wonder if there's something about even just the identity and what it means to people about what the deck they're playing that they would feel better about having like some.
I wonder, like I think that people feel bad calling their deck a 4.
Sure, that's probably true as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's my answer
The difference
to this.
between 3 and 4 seems large.
Remove the stigma of 4. Remove the stigma of playing a 4.
Be proud to be a 4.
Yes.
Be proud to be a 4.
1 4 deserves another.
One 4 deserves
Which is
another.
also what is on my dating
Yeah.
profile. Be proud to be a 4.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So these are the questions that the Commander Format panel is thinking about. And if you all have thoughts, we'd love to know about them as well in the Good Luck High Five Discord or under the YouTube video in the comments. What do you think about all of this? Very good that we're all talking about it. I'll say, I think I'm feeling very positive. There was some like worry when Wizards took over the Commander format panel. Still early days, of course, but I feel very positive about what's happened since then. It seems like we're moving in a good direction.
Definitely, it feels like there is a lot of care being at least there's an attempt at care, like, which doesn't always mean that will be how it feels to people. But I think that I see even just this bracket, this bracket document took a lot of work to come up with, like, clearly. Yeah. Now, maybe people won't be happy with what it says, but I think there certainly has been an effort made to try to make something that is functional for people.
I will just say one more time, because I realize I have a strong opinion about this.
Yeah, please.
And that it is already that the bracket system will never be able to perfectly define each deck.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you like, why continue to make it more granular if you are always going to have to use something outside the system to describe, right? If you're I feel like even if you made 3, 4, 5, 6, right, where it's like you put something between 3 and 4, and so that now it's 3, 4, 5, and what used to be 4 is 5. Yeah. People are still going to have 3.5s. Yeah. People are going to have 4.5.
That's true. Yeah, I certainly agree with you that's true.
I think we should just have 10 and everyone can be a 7 again.
Okay, well, what about 100 though? You know what I mean?
And everyone's a 70.
Yeah,
everyone's a 70.
Yeah, or like 63 or something.
Just going to come full circle all the way back around again.
I'll have a slight tangent on this that I feel like may or may not be useful, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Let's go, Tyler.
When my brother, who I love, was when he was a young boy, very stubborn, and had he would get, to my brother's credit, his mind works in a way that's not like a lot of people's minds, and he gets these things in his head sometimes that no one else I know would have really gotten stuck on. But he had this idea about being born in limbo. So let me follow me here. So let's imagine that you're being born, and you're being born at like 11:59.59 point. You're right at the cusp between 2 days.
Okay, got it.
His theory was that there would be like a certain level of which
split into two beings.
Well, not that you would split into two beings, but that you wouldn't actually be born on any day at all. And I think that's similar to what we're talking about here. Like, there's always going to be, like, the finer down you get, and inevitably there's, like, you get down to something that is
like
the
you can
theoretical.
Always half it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you ever actually touch anything?
Exactly.
It's a paradox.
I mean, exactly. Well, and there's, like in physics, there's like the Planck constant, which is theoretically like the very smallest thing that can ever exist. But even that, like, is just an idea. Like, there's no way of actually, like, you can conceptualize it in some ways.
The smallest thing that can exist is an idea.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. So all I'm saying is that, like, my brother would certainly be on board for what you're saying, man.
I don't know about you, but at the gym, I've got a Planck constant that would make you all sweat.
Maria, I kind of want to dare you to do a plank right now for as long as you can.
Yeah, Maria, I have to say.
Maria, you don't think I would be good at it?
Do you want to get Maria, you know what? I dare you to do a plank right now.
My plank would be 15 seconds, then she's on the ground.
Okay.
That's
honestly not terrible.
I think that you're underestimating yourself.
No, I could probably do longer than 15. Yeah. But, on these little stick arms, it won't be long.
Buddy, it's not the arms.
Yeah, it's the core.
It's the core.
And your core has been kind of a little bit, not, like
it's been operated on.
It's been through the ringer, Yeah, I mean, legitimately. I'm saying.
It sure has.
Yeah,
it sure
the
has.
year's been unkind.
It's been unkind to my core. And truly my whole life, honestly. Listeners, my organs are all stuck to each other. Yeah. That's a fun update for you. If you didn't already know.
My organs are
Listener, picture this.
Wow, God, the couch really brings out a lot in you. I don't know how to say this any other way.
Yep, hashtag blame the couch.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just here being more myself than I've ever been in the daddy chair.
Oh no, what has this done to us?
What have we wrought?
What have we wrought? Who knew that just a removal of a desk
and the addition of a dangerous item.
Let's say thank you to the sponsors from the murder couch to your ears. Cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
Card Kingdom is the place to go for all of your Magic needs. Get all of your sweet cards. Hey, you're not interested in drafting Spider-Man, but you're like, I do still need some cards from it. Get them from Card Kingdom.
You can pre-order Avatar: The Last Airbender at Card Kingdom already.
Yep.
So if that's something that you want to be on your radar, guess what? It's already available. And remember, by pre-ordering in a certain time frame before midnight PST on November 10th, you're going to get your sealed product of Avatar pre-release weekend. So
which is really cool.
Do that if you want to get your hands on that set early. I know if you're an Avatar super fan, you're probably super excited for this set.
Yep.
Megan, I know, is the Avatar super fan amongst us three in this room right now.
Ayo.
I love it, but you two are going to love it soon, too.
Yeah, we are.
I have started to watch
I'm
the
gonna
show, and I
start
have
before
liked
next
the
week.
first
Be
episodes that I've watched.
prepared.
Yeah.
Become prepared.
Become prepared. The previews start next week for Avatar, so we're going to talk about that on the show next week, which I'm excited about.
The time does fly.
So true. And to get your journey on that started, head on over to cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Thank you as well to Dragon Shield, the best shields for your dragons, aka your cards, some of which may or may not be dragons. Go check them out.
Happening here.
Yeah, go to your local game store and start just referring to your cards as dragons.
Well, some of them might be.
And when anyone questions you on it, double down. That's my answer to most
There you
things.
go.
You know?
Double down. You can check out their cards. They've got super sweet Halloween sleeves. If you want to get something for your spooky deck, you can go over there and check them out now. There's a signature series with various sleeves from artists where they get to draw their own dragon. There's, of course, the Good Luck High Five sleeves and featuring the Rainbow Feldergriff or the Commander Arcade logo.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're very pretty.
there are.
Just type GLHF in the search bar and you can find those. For all your non-GLHF purchases, use code GLHF at checkout for 5% off your order. And if you're thinking about holiday season, remember custom sleeves are a thing. You can go over there and craft your own sleeves for $25 USD and get whatever art you want on them, which I think is really sweet.
Yeah, you can.
Truly.
Oh, what a gift. I just want you all to know, this fits in with talking about Dragon Shield, which is that I now have a line item for bits on my personal budget.
Hey,
Oh, very
This is
nice.
good. I like that for you.
Custom
Very
sleeves.
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bit perfect.
How much have you
Perfect.
spent on bits this year?
Okay, I haven't gone back yet and tallied all bits.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that you're just starting to.
I'm
Yeah,
just
okay.
starting.
Well, we
I'm
do
just
need to know
starting,
once you know.
To accumulate, to track.
to track the bits. Yeah.
To go
I
through
hope
and track the
it's like
bits.
10K. Like that's what.
Do you know what? I'm doing it to make sure that it doesn't become
not
that.
that's-
Because I've realized
Yeah.
in the last few months that every time that it comes to should I spend money on this bit, my answer is yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just
And-
need to make sure that I'm not going overboard.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
I love that for you. Both the
Thank
both
you.
the amount that you're spending
Thank
and
you.
the fact that you're trying to be responsible about
Trying
it.
to be responsible about my bit spending.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, Tyler, you want to talk about Cube?
Yeah, sure. So we're getting a new cube on Arena. We've had many a cube on Arena. There's been there's the Tinker's cube,
Chromatic
cube. There's the sort of just standard classic Arena cube. Cube, as you could call it. And this is a new cube, and it's a noob cube. They call it the powered cube, and I would say for most people's comp on it is the vintage cube on Magic Online.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, certainly, but I think there's a lot of similarities. And it also, I think people are excited about it because number one, people love vintage cube, especially if you're a diehard cube player. That's certainly one of the reference points in the cube community. And having that
community.
Community.
and having that on Arena will, I think, make a lot of people happy. It also doesn't have any alchemy cards, which I know, I think some people, I personally don't hate alchemy cards, especially in the cube. There's something about them living in that environment that feels less offensive than when they're even just in a normal draft set, like adding those cube cards or adding those alchemy cards. I think in the cube, it hasn't really bothered me.
There's such a high power level.
I
think that's what people
high power level.
are most
and I
bothered
think
about by them.
they do feel a little less magic-y, for lack of a better term, than cards that have been printed in paper.
I will say it's just the fact that just take Grenzo. Like, even there's alchemy cards, just take Grenzo.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
it's true. Yeah,
Card is
there's
busted.
Yeah, it's true. And there's lots of alchemy cards that are kind of in
Just
that
like
category.
right, yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. But anyway, this will not have alchemy cards. And so I think there's a lot of people who are excited about that as well.
Pure.
It's pure. And the rewards are actually going to be also quite a bit different than the sort of like payment and reward structure, buying in the entry cost and the reward structure. Very different from the normal cube, which is always gold to buy into it. And then, or I'm sorry, gems to buy into it. Oh,
No,
God,
you
it's
can
gold.
do
Yeah.
gold.
You can
Yeah,
do gold.
It's only gold.
It's only gold. Sorry. That's what I thought. And then I doubted myself. So it's gold to buy into it. And, I would say it's somewhat designed to suck the gold out of people's accounts right before a new set. Well, like that's realistically what they're trying to do.
They have a little
business
vacuum.
wise, but people do enjoy it. They have a little, cubium. And, but this will be quite different in the sense that it's going to have a similar or exactly the same entry fee to a premier draft. So it's 10,000 gold and 1,500 gems, not and or.
Yeah.
Just or.
Just
10,000 10,000 gold or 1,500 gems.
Yes, indeed.
And the reward structure is going to be similar in the sense that it's pretty weighted towards the top. But you're going to if you get to that 3 wins, which is what if you play Premier Draft, that like getting to 3 wins, you're like, okay, I haven't fully gotten my entry fee yet, but I don't feel terrible about what's happened here. You're going to be paying 500. You get 1,000 gems back for getting 3 wins in Premier Draft, and that's the same here. And then the big difference in reward structure is that, number one, this is still going to be a phantom draft. So we're not going to get the cards that we draft, which obviously you do in Premier Draft, and you don't think you're going to in Cube. But the entry fee being similar to Premier Draft, I think some people are a little concerned
They're
about
like,
that
what?
because it feels like, I'm paying the same as I am usually paying for a Premier Draft where I get to keep the cards I draft. And in this scenario, I don't get to keep any of the cards. I think that's a valid concern. The way that I see them trying to address that is these cube prize packs, which you get if you get to 5 wins, you get 1, 6 wins 2, and 7 wins 3. So again, very weighted towards the top. You have to get to 5 wins, which is not not easy. And if you are a person who goes into a draft thinking I'm going to rare draft and I'm kind of drafting in a large part to build my collection, and I enjoy playing the draft, but I'm kind of doing it for that reason. This is worse probably for you than the non-phantom Premier Draft, because you have to get to that 5 wins to start to get have that extra reward kick in.
So what's in these cube prize packs?
Well, why don't you? You got to pull up. Why don't
I
you?
sure do.
Yeah, why don't you?
You're gonna get 7 cards in one of these packs, all right? And one of these bad boys with at least 2 rare mythic rare cards.
Which is nice. That's
all right.
That's nice.
I'm listening. Also contains at least 1 card from a rotating bonus sheet of new to MTG Arena cards, and they've mentioned that they're going to change this out, as the years progress, as they post different iterations of this cube. So that's going to change. And then you can also craft new cards released through cube prize packs with wild cards.
Yep. So that's nice. Yeah.
So they basically are saying that they have over twice the value of a normal store pack.
Yeah.
How you feel about that? Your mileage may vary, but I think that's pretty cool. As somebody who goes into draft, who is not looking to necessarily rare draft to get these cards for standard or another format, because I'm primarily a drafter, right? I'm going to have so many wild cards that I can make a deck in standard if I want to.
Yeah.
I think this is very nice because I don't really look at a draft as a card acquisition tool of any kind of meaningful sort for my collection.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe I'm unique in that. I don't know if that's how other people feel.
No, I'm sure there's lots of people who feel that way. And there's also, I think it's just a mixture of people,
And like this being phantom, like, look, a cube's always going to be phantom, especially when you're playing with power in the case of this.
I understand why. Yeah, I understand given the density of rare and mythics in the card list, I understand why they didn't want to make it so people could keep the cards. It would have.
So I was initially bummed by having it being the same price as phantom, but then I was like, maybe it's okay if I can get up to those 5 wins. Getting this pack would be kind of cool. So I guess we'll see how I do. I'm not really a cube fanatic. I was talking to Tyler about this last night, and I'm like, I really prefer generally a lower power draft format. I have a little bit more fun in those kinds of environments.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So I'll just have to kind of recalibrate my I don't know. I'm going to have to study. Is really the truth to figure out what to draft in here and what to stay away from.
I want to play with my goal, and I want to receive no prizes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
vacuum.
So in that case,
that's me.
That's fair. And I mean, I think you could still get that done here. You can pay with your gold.
It'll happen.
And if you just have to basically get
Tyler,
no wins. You know what I mean? Like you could still get it done, but it is less, likely to happen in this one for sure.
There's exciting cards that they're gonna play in this cube. You can play with the power in here.
Yep, all the moxes.
All the moxes.
Moxin.
Okay. Gosh, the thing is that I am right. I'm gonna end up.
Yeah.
You're gonna play it.
You're gonna
to
play
it,
it, but I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah. You're gonna be having fun, but angry fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be having some really angry fun.
They don't have this full, as of this recording's release notes about what exactly is going to be in this cube, but they do have some teasers about what's going to be in here. One card we know, which has been previewed by Louis Scott Vargas, is that Booster Tutor is going to be in this cube, which has made a lot of people very excited.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is very fun. Very interesting. I'm very curious to see how they animate it on Arena.
Yeah, you get to, if you don't know Booster Tutor, you get to go outside of the game, open a pack, and take one of the cards from that pack and put it into your hand.
Yep.
So how is that going to work on Arena? We don't know.
We don't know yet.
It is fun and exciting though.
I know.
Is that card a good card? Almost certainly not.
No.
But is it a fun card? Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. They've also said there's going to be a card included with, quote, audio performed by a non-human actor. To which I ask, can you be a non-human actor? Tyler, I thought you might want to wax,
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say
this.
yes, 100%.
So I would think a dog might know that it's acting.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters whether whether it knows it's acting or not. I think is a question that's again, if you want to let's not go down this rabbit hole. But if you did, just our concept of what it consciousness is so related to the fact that we are human that we don't really have any notion of what the dog's consciousness is.
We don't have any notion of consciousness. Period.
Well, that's right. We don't know how it works for sure. But I'm saying our experience of it is what we're going off of, and that experience heavily. Our ideas of intelligence are so heavily skewed towards our own experience of the world that it is. I think that the question of whether the dog knows it's acting or not is kind of beside the point of whether the dog should be labeled as a full-bodied participant in the thing that they're doing.
I guess I'm gonna say how dare you impugn the artistry of my favorite dog actor of our all-time, Darla.
Ooh,
is this Wishbone?
No, Darla, known for such films as Silence of the Lambs.
Yep, true.
The Suburbs.
Where's the? Oh, the dog.
Where's the dog in Silence of the Lambs?
Oh yeah, never mind.
Where's
heavily
the
featured.
dog?
Heavily hanging out in the pit eventually.
Yep. I mean, eventually. Yeah.
And Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh wow, what a prolific dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's
But what about Wishbone?
adorable.
Yeah, there's Wishbone.
Obviously, I also love Wishbone. But
Also,
Darla,
what about? Go ahead.
Darla's my favorite dog actor.
That's fair. That's a good favorite. I also think of Buddy from Air Bud as well, who kind of met a tragic end. But
what about
what
the
happened?
I think Buddy had to have one of his. This could be complete fabrication.
Don't spread dog
so I don't know if I
rumors
should
on
be
this
spreading it,
podcast.
but I think that Buddy had to have one of his legs amputated at one point. I think Buddy was 3 legs for a little while, and then I will say though that they're making a sequel.
That it was a dog surgeon amputating Buddy's leg, and they're there's no rule that says a dog can't be a surgeon.
HBO special that's gonna be Air Bud, but they are actually making an Air Bud sequel that's supposedly kind of there's been 100 Air Bud sequels. I'm exaggerating, but there's a crazy Air Bud cinematic universe that you could
ACU.
That there's there's 14 or plus movies, and a bunch of them are they're in space. Some of them are in space. There's some of them are
they call them Air Buddies.
Yeah, well, here's Space Buddies,
Santa
Snow
buddies, Spooky Buddies.
See,
these look like absolute garbage.
Well, I'm sure they are. But
Yikes.
They are making a movie called
14. You're right.
But okay, and there's a new movie that's coming out that's a sequel that's sort of I think trying to get back to the originals a little bit. And they did this crazy search. John Oliver did a thing on this actually recently. They did a crazy search for the new dog, and they started making this movie without the dog, which is crazy. And in the announcement to this thing where they're like, we're doing this movie, there is the most Air Bud looking golden retriever sitting next to this man who's we're in search of the new Air Bud, and there's just this dog. It does. And then they pick not one, but 2 dogs, and the dogs don't really look like all that much. So it's very confusing what's going on with that.
Incredible.
That digression, though, having been now hopefully completed, yes, there are dog actors.
Okay, well, people I think it's Comet.
Yeah, the Comet seems correct.
Please. Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah.
How about this clue here, which was kind of interesting? A card name who's spelled backward is a different Magic card.
Ooh,
Oh.
I like that. A little word.
That
word
feels like you
puzzle.
should be able to figure it out, but
Yeah.
I can't.
with a lot of time though. I mean, or like one of those people with photographic memories or whatever. You know? They can just pull up all the cards in their head and scroll through them.
Yeah, I think people basically solved that one as well. If you want to look, people think they figured out that clue, and there's various other clues about the cards that are going to be in this noob, if you will. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it basically so I can draft Booster Tutor and regret my decisions, but I have fun when I cast it.
As long as
You know what I mean?
feel like you're gonna regret your decisions.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
I know I will. but I mean, that's just fun. Open a packet and then put it in your thing.
It is fun.
Yeah,
I can't
fun.
tell you that it's
Okay,
not.
yeah, I'm going to spoil this for you all. It's
Okay,
Tinker and Renit, probably.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm fine being spoiled.
Anyway, there you go.
I didn't know what it was. So.
Yeah.
Spoil away.
Spoil away. Spoil away.
away.
Tyler, you are a big drafter. Are you looking forward to this cube?
Yeah, I similar to you. I think really prefer lower power sets, and so I don't often go heavy on the cubes when they're offered. But yeah, I will definitely play this. It's interesting enough that I'm very curious about it for sure. And it feels like there are just getting to play with Moxen, in Arena will be fun. I think there's a novelty effect to it that like almost regardless, I think you're going to have an interesting time with it in the first couple drafts.
And you get a squirrel token sleeve.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
When you join. So very cute.
And there's like
See,
is there a
this-
dog?
Oh, yeah, that's
in there?
that's Comet for
fine,
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Okay, you
We got
me.
her. We got her, folks.
Okay.
She's in. So, folks, whether or not you like it, Spider-Man is still the set that's currently out right now.
Slash Omen Pass.
Slash through the Omen Path,
Yeah.
if you will. And a lot of people have taken to not pretending it doesn't exist.
Wait,
A lot
taking
of
two
people have taken to not.
Yeah, I think you could have stopped right there.
Yeah, they've taken to
that's-
not
A lot
with
of
this
people
set.
have taken to not.
For sure.
Yeah, that's clearly true. Yeah.
And for instance, we talked about this on the show that Limited Resources did their Sunset show basically immediately
Yeah,
after
right.
this,
Very funny.
this set came out. But yeah, you can still draft it on Arena, and it's pick 2 draft
and
format.
I think you'll be able to draft it for another month still.
Oh boy,
Pretty much,
There's
yeah.
other formats that they're throwing at us. I think.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
To
They
say,
started throwing formats pretty quickly. They
this
said it
isn't
was
doing
like
so great.
I can't remember what they put in that Arena announcement, but it was pretty paper thin where they were like, it's near the end of the year and the seasons are changing and we're going to change the draft formats a little bit or something. It was
You're
like,
like,
it
yeah,
was
you
like
are.
that,
yeah,
like it was
a
like,
lot of people are
Yeah.
playing Spider-Man.
Hey, people, we've noticed that y'all don't like this.
yeah. So how about these other things you did like?
Remember Duskmorn?
Yeah.
But Tyler, you've actually been playing and enjoying the Spider-Man draft experience.
Yeah, I'll say
Whoa.
I will. Yeah, this is a good clickbait title to this
What?
segment.
Doctors hate the way Tyler drafts these decks.
Doctors hate.
That's my favorite
I love
clickbait
that.
title.
Yeah,
it's
very
my
true.
number
It
one
work-
for
and
sure.
it works for everything as you've just demonstrated. Like what I'm doing really would should.
Doctors hate
one trick.
this one draft strategy.
Yeah, so I have been drafting. I haven't drafted. I've drafted 11 times, so not like an insane amount, but I have.
What do you normal at this point? What's your number normally?
Well, it varies. I'll be honest with you. I love to draft, but my free time
in a great
is in a great set. It might be like 30 or 40.
Okay,
Like
great.
that's probably like some of the things I've really loved. Like I've been like Brothers War was a set I really loved drafting, and then I'll be honest, also won a lot in, which
Yeah.
helped me really love it. But that
there's a correlation there.
yeah, oh for sure.
us all.
And there's a correlation here as well.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what? I also like things better when I'm good at them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, yeah. It might surprise you to know that, but so I've drafted 11 times. I have out of those 11 times, I've drafted 9 green-white decks. Like I have,
Whoa,
so
whoa,
I have
whoa,
been.
what?
It's fair to say that I have been soft or even hard forcing green-white,
Hardcore forcing, if you
hardcore
will.
forcing, if you will. But of those 11 drafts, I've got 6 trophies, and I've got 5 of those are Foros. So I have
That's
Wow.
very impressive.
Yeah.
What is
Okay.
that? What's that win rate, Tyler?
well the
for
win
us
rate
doing math at home
for
about
those
this.
doing math at home. My match win rate is 77.5% on those
Wowza!
11 drafts. So
That's, if we're at the Pro Tour, I'd be like, those stats are unreal.
yeah, and to be fair, these are not like I'm not doing this in Mythic. Like this is like the lower ranks of like draft because I don't like I'll start out drafting and then I'll on a set and I'll
So
draft
you're
10 to
you're
11
basically
times.
farming.
I am maybe farming some people for sure. And
Fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Tyler's over here farming
Yeah,
people.
I mean-
Straight farming those tomatoes that he talked about earlier.
Doctors hate this one.
This
Farmer.
Doctors hate this one farmer. I will say I would read that article for sure.
Can you imagine opening that article and it turns out it's about you? You're the one farmer
The
doctors
doctors hate.
I really need to see the art, like the clip, the
Oh my
horrible
God.
AI clip
Yeah,
art
the AI
of that
slop of that poor
article,
farmer like standing like
ooh, and like there's a doctor that's like so
yeah,
mad.
like wagging their finger.
That
at-
looks, his eyeballs look like they're popping out of his head. He's so mad. And then it's like
Doctors hate.
this MTG arena drafter.
Yeah. And then for some reason there's a video of like a fat version of that farmer rolling through a house. Like this is my okay. My wife does dabble in the TikTok and she shows me things sometimes. And apparently, and this was yesterday that she showed me this, so this may be brand new. I don't know. There's this thing going around where it's like it's like an animal and they just are like really large, like a big ball shaped.
Wait, is this real?
Yes, well, it's AI. But
it's AI
I'm saying
videos.
this is
Okay.
like the AI slop. This is the
Okay,
newest,
the new slop.
the new slop. And as we said, slop is beautiful. So I don't
Yeah,
even love
we've
using
already
the word for
established
it.
that.
But the new AI abomination that's going around is this giant, like it might be a dog or it might be a squirrel, and it's this big, huge, rotund version of this creature, and it goes rolling through a house and just like bounces off everything and like destroys it. It does something to people's brains and so this is like a new
It's like
thing.
Katamari Damacy.
Oh, I love Katamari
I don't think
Damacy.
I don't know what that is.
You roll
Roll
thing.
and you pick up
It's a game.
stuff. It's a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have
okay.
a sticky ball and
I
you
think I do know what you're talking about.
roll
I didn't
and you
recognize.
stick everything.
All right.
You
Was
be
that like a
rolling.
Nintendo game? Was that on a Nintendo?
I
You
don't
be
remember.
sticking-
No,
Like on
because
Wii's?
if it was on Nintendo, I
You
would
wouldn't have played it.
I would have been playing it
Oh, okay.
constantly. I think it's PlayStation.
I think
Okay.
you're right, Megan. I tried to
it's
play it, but
PlayStation.
I just could not. OCD brain, like I just could not because
loved
you couldn't
Katamari
ever get
Damacy.
everything.
Oh, I see. So you wanted to like really pick up everything.
It was bad for
I
my
see. I see.
specific mental problems.
I
Well, long story short, God, we've gone so far onto that
That's the
tangent.
couch.
But like,
It's the couch.
but clawing it back.
Yeah.
I have been playing the draft format. I have been forcing green white. Two things have kept me coming back. Number one, winning
Yeah.
for sure, far above everything else.
do bring you back.
But number two, I've been able to splash more than I thought I would in these green
You
white
really
decks.
you can in
And-
this set. I don't know
because
why.
there's enough the fixing's okay, and especially if you're playing green, there is some kind of incidental cards that are pretty good, like that proud, what is it called, proud parents, or the
Supportive
parents.
Parents?
Yep, where it's a 2 and a green for a 3/3, and you tap
yeah,
two creatures,
yeah.
and it gives you a colorless
And you
mana.
just want
or
that
a
card,
mana
well,
of
in
any
green
color.
white anyway.
Yeah, you do, because you want to tap your creatures
Yeah.
for in web, and sometimes it accelerates your mana in a nice way. And then there's also cards like I can't remember the name of it all. It's like Zan or something, and it's 2 and a green in web cost, and it's a 4/3, and it comes into play, and it gets a
Yes, you
basic
go
out of
get
your
a
deck,
basic.
put it
Yep,
into play tap, or it's 4 and a green for its full cost. Like that card's just generically pretty good, and so you're gonna want to kind of put that in your deck anyway. So it feels like there's a lot of scenarios in which you might just pick up like let me pull up one that had.
I'm looking at 17 lands right now at the data for this format.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned a few weeks ago, the number of drafts is much lower than other sets for this period of time. Celestia has a 59.5% win rate, which is not the top, I'll have you know, but it's
Yep.
very close to it. Golgari has 60.6%.
which makes sense to me, but you'll see on the Golgari that there's many fewer,
Way fewer.
like games that have
109 compared to 5,493.
because it's not one of the
it's not
colors
supported
that's supported. Yeah, I have played one Golgari deck that I did.
Interesting.
splash in. But so like I played this one green white deck where I splashed Gloria, the Great Armorer, that one red white 3/3 that when you attack, you put a counter on something, and whenever a modified creature you control deals combat, you get to exile the top card of your library and play it till the end of the turn. So that card's just like very good. So I had one green red dual land, and then I had one of these Zans, and then I had a supportive parents. You know, like you can kind of just splash it a little bit for free, and that has been kind of fun for me. Is like, oh yeah, you can play this deck, and you feel like you're playing good cards, but also you're getting to kind of splash around a little bit, which I've enjoyed. So yeah, so that's my take on it. Yeah, as I said, if you're winning, you'll do anything. So like,
that's so true. That's so true. Yeah. I was looking at the top 10 commons, just interested in what colors were being represented there based on your win rate with green white. White is the number one best common in Spectacular Tactics.
Which that card is completely bust out. I think it's finally starting to be taken at like a reasonable place, but you for like the first couple weeks of the format, you were getting that card just constantly.
Why do you think this card is busted?
Well, I'm
going to read it quick.
Yeah,
you can get to either put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control and give it hexproof until end of turn, or destroy target creature's power 4 greater.
Yeah, there's a couple things. Number one, it's so modular. Like you can play it like it's good if you're in an aggressive place, and it's also good if you're kind of behind, because in both scenarios, like if you're in an aggressive place, a lot of times you just want to maintain what you've got, and whatever your best creature is, if you can hold that up and negate whatever their destroy spell is that they're trying to play on your creature, you are going to be in great shape. And on the flip side, if you get to destroy their best creature, that oftentimes is going to flip the game in your favor. So yeah, that card. And again, you would just get it. I think its win rate is probably, number one, it's elevated by the fact that it's in one of the best decks. If really not the best deck. I mean, green white I think is the best deck, with Golgari just being a good deck that you're not going to get off into very often. And it's also elevated by the fact that you were getting it really late a lot of the time early in the format.
This is interesting. There's only 2 cards that are not white or green or white and green in the top 10 best commons. And those are the Kill Spell Damning Caress and Phantasmal Vision, which is the 1/3 flyer in blue.
Both very good, yeah.
But everything else is white and green, including, I'm going to put Leyline Weaver into this category, which is red-green, but it's a hybrid mana, so it's basically 1 and a green.
So as we said, you can cast it in your green deck.
You really can.
Your green deck.
With any luck, you'll soon be able to put it in your mono green commander.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
So basically, if you want to get out there and try Spider-Man, basically draft green-white.
I will say, and I also just like the play patterns of green-white. It's been fun. The games have been fun for me. Like, again, partially because I've been winning, but also the idea of you kind of like in the mental math of the end web and like what it means to like pick a card up and put it back down, or, like all of those things, like having all of that kind of going on in my head has been pleasurable for me as I've been playing the game. So yeah, I recommend green white.
Well, you know what we like to do on this podcast? Even if we have a cloud, we like to show you the soft silver belly of it,
Yep. So got to show you that milk-filled center.
Silver belly of it.
Like if the cloud was a cat and it rolled over and it was like,
oh, yeah.
you can pet me on my tum-tum.
If the cloud was a cat.
And it had a belly that wanted to be rubbed.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
That'd be pretty good.
That would actually be really good.
Yeah. When you can pet the cat's soft fluff underbelly, that's a true day right there.
That's sort of the floor underneath everything, like you're only at the end of the day, if you have a cat and they want to have their belly rubbed, that's the lowest you can get, like it's just like everything else might be awful, but there's always going to be that kind of like that soft trampoline underneath everything that you're going to go down and hit your butt on and bounce back up a little bit, is that cat's soft
Absolutely.
belly.
What's the trampoline for your butt?
What's the trampoline for your butt, listeners?
Let us know. Thank you, friends, for watching this episode of Good Luck High Five. We're so thankful that you could join us yet again on another incredible episode.
If we do say so ourselves.
We do say so ourselves.
We're still dealing with the new energy in the room that's been created by this couch and this daddy chair.
We're flying so high that it's almost impossible for us to be humble in this moment. So
I want to slap the arm of this couch, but it is painful to do so. It is just rock hard. It's somehow rock hard and still unstable.
Very flimsy. Yeah. Rock hard and flimsy.
Now that's your Nintendo card. That's tough.
We all got there.
We all have a very disturbing Tinder profile on this show. We broke Megan.
I can't handle
rock hard yet flimsy.
It's absolutely the best.
Wait, what did we say?
Well,
Rock
we
hard
said
and-
several things, but rock hard and still unstable.
Unstable.
Yeah.
Is my absolute
That's
favorite.
that is great.
Gold.
Yeah.
That is profile
Yes, it
gold
is.
It's true,
right
yeah.
there. Mine
Yes,
was a
it
creamy
is.
top. I can't remember what Megan's was anymore. But
Every good four.
one good four deserves another.
Well, it was. It doesn't matter.
Originally, it
Let's-
was okay.
Anyways, the
Anyways,
point is,
we need a budget, a line item for the amount of callbacks that we do, so that we can like track those and be
Yeah.
sure that we're not
Yeah.
overdoing those. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Thank you to Card Kingdom. Thank you to Dragon Shield. And thank you to everyone who's a supporter on Patreon. Become a new member before our next episode. We'd love to have you join our family. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Thank you once again to Wesley for joining us.
Thank you, Wesley.
Yes.
This episode, we're so excited to have you. Check out our Commander Arcade episode that got posted last Friday. If you haven't, over at youtube.com/@GLHF Commander, featuring Kathleen and Nelson from Loading Ready Run.
Pretty cool.
And we'll have a new episode of Commander Arcade coming out for you on November 7th. So make sure that you like, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications, hit the hype button that apparently exists for some users over there.
Really? I was like a
Yes.
test thing they're doing?
Yeah, not everybody has the hype button.
Wow.
I don't know.
Oh, I have the hype button.
Do you? I don't
Do
know.
you?
I haven't
I
seen
hype
it.
everything.
I don't think I do
hype
either.
it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, why did they give it to me?
I don't
you
know.
have
Because I use it.
And because you're in the daddy chair.
Well, that's probably it. It felt your daddy energy and
Yeah.
it gave you the hype button.
Yeah, makes
It
sense to
do.
me.
One hype knows another, you know?
One daddy knows another. Which is the tagline for Grinder.
Yeah.